Well, hello there. It's good to see you again. Welcome to Operation Christmas Child Workshop number 3. We're going to be making some more things to put in our boxes today, but before we do, let me tell you a little bit about the contents of the box. First of all, we put things in to delight the children. You know, we'll put in a little teddy bear, some toys, some things that would excite them. Because remember, they only get one of these in their lifetime. So we want to make it a pleasant experience. We also put some things that they need for hygiene, toothbrush, soap, um, things like that. School supplies, some paper and pencils and things. But the most important thing that goes into the book is this little brochure. It's called The Greatest Gift, and it tells the story of Jesus and what he's done for us and our need for him in our lives. Um, this is the evangelism part of the EDM. After the children get their hear this story and get their boxes, then one of the things that we can include in it is a fact sheet about yourself, or the children who pack it. They can fill in these questions that are asked and pictures of themselves. They can even include their address if they want to see if they can get a pen pal. That's been a fun thing to do. And then I've already mentioned that after this time they have a chance to take a further course, and that book is called The Greatest Journey. And this gives them an in-depth opportunity to learn about Jesus and to hear the good news and accept Jesus into their life if they so choose. And after this training, they get their own New Testament Bible, which is in their own language. All the materials are in the language of the country that they're going to. Now, you may or may not know that we ask for a $10 donation. We call it a shipping fee, but it really is more than that. It does pay for part of the shipping, but it pays also for all these materials. And because we are church to church, it pays for the training of the leaders, the ministers, the missionaries that's over there in all this material. So you can see the $10 is stretched and really goes a long way. And there'll be some information if you'd like to donate. If you don't have a church that participates and you'd like to donate to Operation Christmas Child, make your checks for $10 out to that or more if you'd like. And my address that you can mail it to me, and we'll just include it in our church. But let's get started with some more of the crafts that we did at the workshop. And first we'll start with a necklace. Okay, this is going to surprise you. We've got just regular drinking straws. Got these at the dollar store. They're very colorful, and watch what we get to do with them. Also got this string at the dollar store, and we're going to be making some necklaces. Now we cut up the straws into little like 1-inch sections and put string in a baggie. The children can make it themselves. The boxes are divided up in different age groups, so the little children probably would already get a necklace strung, but the little bit older children can use this yarn and thread these cut up straws to make a colorful necklace. And the yarn that is used is very rigid, so you don't even need any kind of a needle. It'll thread right through. Now, this is one of the ways that you can make the necklaces with the soda straws. Another way is with washers. We just went to the hardware store and bought some washers, just plain washers. I'll hold it up next to my background so you can see, and painted them with fingernail polish. Now, if few schools of thought on that. It takes the fingernail polish a long time to dry and a lot of coats. I think we've decided that we'd rather just line up a dozen or so of the washers and spray paint them. It dries real fast. We can flip them over and spray the other side. So that's another option. And then we just made a loop on the string and tied them on and got a little necklace there. So we had two ways of making necklaces, with the washers and with the drinking straws. Okay, that was a fun activity. We made up the little kits, and basically everybody just picked up a couple of kits and say, I can do this at home, and just collected the ideas. So the next thing is the marble bag. Now you remember how we talked about using the t-shirt, using every piece of it, and that we use the sleeves for the marble bags. Well, we found out that not all sleeves are created equal. Some of them are little cap sleeves, some of them are 3/4, some are longer, some are extra large, some are extra small. So we call them marble bags / crazy sacks. And the crazy sacks will hold anything, some toiletries, even as some of the long sleeves are big enough to be a pencil bag. So I'll show you how we do those. And I wasn't kidding. We call them crazy sacks. Okay, here's our directions. And that there's a link to that at the bottom, but you can see on the t-shirt, we're cutting off the sleeves. And the hem of the sleeves becomes the little casing that we thread, again, part of the t-shirt, just strips of the t-shirt in to make the marble bag. And you may notice that on this bag, if there's a tic-tac-toe. Well, we decided if it can have one purpose, that would be great, but if it can have two, all the better. So we are including in the kits that we made up, we are including tiddlywinks. That's what I call them. The little circles that you can play tic-tac-toe with. And in English, I'm not sure how they'll translate it to different language, but at least English, directions on how to play tic-tac-toe. We include the marbles and a big shooter and the directions on how to play marbles. So basically, it's the sleeve of the shirt. You know how we have to put right sides together if we're going to seam it. And because the hem of the sleeve is the casing, we'll start sewing just below the casing and sew an L, turn it inside out, and put a safety pin on our length of string that we're making from the t-shirt, stretch it out good, and then because we didn't sew all the way through that casing, we have an opening that we can thread this safety pin through to get our bag. We've added a little wooden bead on here, and you can pull that through with one of your plastic canvas needles. It'll fit right through the eye. And what that does, after you put your knot in it so it won't slip off, that holds it closed so you don't lose your marbles and your tiddlywinks. So that stays in the bag until you get ready to use them. Then you can empty them out and play your tic-tac-toe or empty marbles out on the ground, and you're ready to go. So let me see. Here's another couple. You don't have to make marble bags out of the shirt sleeves. You can make them out of just regular fabric. And here's another design where I made the casing, and then I just used ribbon and threaded it through the front and the back and tied it, and then did the other in the opposite direction so it'll cinch down. And it's just a little rectangle pattern. If you sew it all, you can figure this out. And it can be made of any kind of fabric. The denim works real good, and the lady that donated the fabric to me last week sent me probably 4 or 5 yards of denim. I'm just real thrilled to get that. I was going to see if I could find any crazy sacks in here to show you. I think they were such a big hit at the workshop. I don't think there's any of those left, but it would be a long sleeve, and so the sack would be longer like that. Okay, let's gather this up and let's take a look at one of these are sort of generic. Maybe you'd say they were for boys, but let's look at something else for boys. The boys' shorts. Slide that out of the way. Okay, cute little boy shorts. This is a size 4. It just happened to be the pattern. I have grandchildren and I sew for them, so this happened to be the size that I have, a size 4. Okay, they're pretty straightforward. Here's our kit. Has the directions straight out of the pattern. You can tell that they're the formal directions. And what I've included is the pattern itself. You'll have to put them together, top and bottom, front and back. So what I've done is cut them out and tape them together, the 2 pieces together, so that I can use it as a pattern. This happens to be the back, and I just wanted to show you on this one, in order to get it in on one sheet of 8.5 by 11, I folded that pattern over, so whenever we're cutting it out, we have to visually unfold it and just draw it. So now I'm going to cut around it and let you see. The shears. Okay, I'm using pinking shears. It keeps the fabric from raveling. Okay, and then I'm going to be cutting. So if I folded that back over, it would fold on over where the pattern is marked. So that's what you're doing with this little triangle right here, because it wouldn't fit accurately to be the correct size pattern for a size 4. So I'm going to finish cutting this out. And this goes into my scrap pile. And we have the front and back of the shorts cut out. Okay. And that comes with this set of directions that'll be linked below. So we've been looking at patterns for a size 4, and that is one of the sizes for the little boys. But what if you need something bigger? I don't have a bigger pattern that I can print out without it being multiple sheets, but what we can do for this is a size 8. What we can do is make a size 8 pattern, and all that we have to do to make this is lay this pattern onto something else and just enlarge it. What I've done is made it longer at the top. I added about 2 inches there and made it wider across. Now most of the places that these children are going, they're pretty thin, so I didn't add a whole lot, probably 2 inches to the front and 2 inches to the back, so that's 4 inches, but I did add to the length. And this material is from the Dollar Tree. It is the cutting mats that you can buy 2 for $1.25, cutting mats, and I just taped them together. You know, if you don't want to do that, you can just take a plastic bag, that's what this is, that I have cut the pattern out of, and that's even less expensive. But that's how you enlarge a pattern. So to make the shorts, it's very simple. You put right sides together for the front. So that center seam, put right sides together for the back. So that center seam. And then you've got a front and back facing each other. So that side seam. And you've got your shorts made. All you have to do is hem them. Turn the top down for a casing. Leave an opening so that you can take your safety pin, thread some elastic, just like we did with the marble bags, thread it through. And with the shorts, just like with the skirts, we like to leave this opening unsewn so that if there is any need for an adjustment at the waistband, that they can make that adjustment and then sew it up if they need to. So here's our size 4 little boy shorts that we made from the pattern. And here's our little older boy size 8 shorts that we made from the same pattern, just enlarging it. Okay, so we've done the necklace, we've done the marble bag, we've done the boy shorts. Now let's do something for the babies. This one, I don't know that it has a name per se, but I call it the matching game. And you can tell from this printed sheet that they have stitched the outline of a shape and then attached the shape to a ribbon, and it's stored in this little pocket. So the baby or younger child can pull out one of the ribbons, find the shape, and match it to the shape that's on the background. So you will get a pattern that has all these shapes in it and how to make the little pocket at the end. And we also included the ribbon in our kits to attach them. And then the nice thing about it is when these are sewn together, it trifolds, and you can add some ribbon ties and it'll fit right into the shoebox. Thank you so much for joining me today. We have had fun with our mini workshop number 3. We made a necklace, a couple of necklaces different ways, made the marble bags and the crazy sacks, and we made 2 different size boy shorts, and we did the shaping mat, the matching of the shapes. Thank you for joining me. We have at least one more video because we have several more things to do, and I have some guests that I've got lined up, so we're probably going to do a 5th of the workshops. Thanks so much for joining us. God bless.